Hey all, today I'm going to do a series on the S21 and S31 from Digico and how we have it set up at Southside. This video's purpose is for our own tech team and training, but also for anyone else who may be considering, the Advantis, lower NVI series, any of the expression boards, just getting the lay of the land of what the S31 can do. Personally for me, I think the S31 bang to buck is very competitive, if not more competitive than some of the boards that have come out like the SQ7 and the Advantis. So what we have in front of us is 60 flexi inputs. If you don't know what a flexi input is, it means that one input is used per stereo channel. So if you have overheads left right or guitar left right, that is considered one channel instead of two. We are running Dante from our stage boxes up front. Our Dante comes from the SSL stage boxes. The reason we do that is so that we can have independent gain control for online and ears and then front of house. So we can change our gain at front of house and we do not affect the in-ears or online mix. They have their own separate gain structure. So that really enables us to keep front of house, in-ears, and online completely separate. I'll talk a little bit about how we are running online right now later, but to my left we have Waves. Waves is probably the biggest importance of the system. When I get further into what we're doing on the board, you will see how important Waves is to our sound at Southside. And then on my right, I have my preamp control for the SSL stage boxes and the reverb recording, as well as smart loudness SPL monitoring. So let's get right into it. All right, so first I want to talk about how the board is laid out and how it is connected to these two systems. Okay, so the board is laid out. I have drums on the left bank. I have all of my instruments on the middle bank, so guitars, pianos. So this is rhythm section, more of our instrumentation, tracks, computers, whatever we need. And then I have all my vocals and groups on the right bank. Groups wise, I have all of my tracks going to the groups. I have my guitars and keys group. I have a drum group and I have a band group. One thing to note is that the drum group and band group are separate. They do not feed into one another. The drums do not feed into the band. And the reason it is because the way that we're running our online stream right now for the Matrix, we want separate control over the band, all the other instruments, backing tracks and whatnot, and the drums for our online mix. So that's my first layer. My second layer is some extra drum mics and triggering that we're using. Right now I have the trigger set up to actuate the gate for the mic, so the trigger sound's not coming through, but the mic sound is. Some extra inputs left over for some extraneous stuff that we might do, such as last week we did strings on the stage. I've made matrices in the middle. That's where I have my PA left, right, and center, my online left, right, my subs, and my smart reference matrix, as well as my solo matrices. Over here I have my bass group, my vocal group, my speaker mics. These are just lapels that are left over. I have my band left talkback, my band right talkback, and on the fourth page, third, I keep pretty blank just in case we need to add some stuff in. Fourth page, I have my kick, snare, tom groups. I have my online return so I can monitor it, since I can only monitor the matrices in mono instead of stereo. So this is how I monitor online and stereo. I have my crowd mics, vocal talkback, my SPL mic, my front of house talkback, which is what I'm talking into right now, and my master. And then I have my auxes and my reverb returns, which are on that page. So mostly I just sit on this front page. I have all my drums right here. I have all of my instruments in the middle, all my vocals right here, and then I have all my VCA groups right at the push of a button, and my subs aux send. So for my VCA groups, I have drums, drum verb, bass, guitars, keys, vocals, tracks, vocal verb, and vocal delay, and then my tap tempo is right here on the console. And then I can just easily switch between those two things as I need to. This board is connected via the Waves card to Wave Sound Grid over here. On the first layer, I have my groups, kick, snare, toms, overheads, bass, guitar, drum vocal bus, tracks, vocals 1 through 5. And on my second page, I have my 2 reverbs and my online mix, so I can put some limiting on the online. Eventually, if we need it, we can put PA on there as well, but that's all I have for right now. Out of the UB MADI connection, we have Reaper recording 48 channels, and this is so that I can click one button, and this is one of the best things about the S31, is we record, we can play back, and with one button we can click listen to copy audio, and it switched every input that we have to the recorded inputs. Then we can play from there and mix without the band on the stage. I cannot hit this home far enough. Whatever system you are thinking about going for, virtual sound check will change your church's sound. It enables you to train volunteers easier, especially if you're a worship leader trying to train volunteers. It's kind of hard to do that, be on the stage, help the band, be back here, help the volunteer at the same time. So this really enables us to record everything, come back in, we can have our pastors listen to it, we can have our media director listen to it, just to make sure that we're all going for the same product. So those are how those 3 things really work together. Obviously I have our SPL mic right there. Next I'll get into how we're doing some of the routing and what processing we're doing on each channel. All right, so one thing I like about the S31 is the routing is very intuitive. Say we take our kick channel, we click the routing page. I don't know if y'all can see this over here, but we have all of our routing has come up. Tells me what source it came from. There's a separate place for recording. So recording send and recording return. Are we listening to it or not? Then it goes into our input processing. So first we have our EQ, just an input EQ. We have a delay. Let's say we're working on groups between waves and this. This is how we would get our latency evened out. We would delay our groups. We have a preamp section. We have our insert A, our channel processing. So this would be our normal EQ, 5-band EQ, compression, gate, and then we have our insert, and then we have our outputs. So what group is that going to, whatnot. All of my channels, I have put the waves insert for the channel on insert B. And the reason I did this is because if we needed to tonal correct something in the signal path, we can do that on insert A with something internal or maybe another external limiter or whatnot. But I decided to do that on B, and then on the buses, I have it on A, and then if we need to put something on insert B, we can do that. So that's mainly how the routing is done for almost every channel. It's very intuitive. All of the groups come into the group assign on the output. I see, okay, kick drum, I'm sending to kick group. If I didn't want to send it to kick group and I wanted to send it just straight to the master, I just click send straight to the master. And that's how we would do the routing. So next I want to talk about our online matrix. So this is our matrix button right here, matrix. This brings up our online matrix. On our online matrix, we have our band left, right, vocals left, right, lapel bus, crowd mics left and right, and our drums left and right. So since we have all this going to our online matrix, we can come in, monitor our online feed that's coming in through a stereo channel. We can select the band. We want more band, less band. We want more vocals, less vocals. We want more crowd mics, less crowd mics, and drums. So we can really dial in a little bit clearer than arbitrarily just taking our front of house left, right. While that is good, online, we're going to push the vocals a little hotter in the room just because of the PA and people. Online, we're going to want to cut those down a little bit for more of a passive listening experience. So that's why we do it that way. I do have some of the internal effects on here. Right now I'm not using them because I have waves, but their halls sound pretty good. Delays are normal. Their plates are a little fake sounding, but if you're going for like an 80s vibe, it doesn't really matter. That's not what vibe we're going for here, but that's what we have. I also have these split groups set up on top where I can split out all the drum channels, I can split out the guitar channels, I can split out the vocal channels. If I'm on a different page and I need something very fast, I can just split out the vocals, adjust that, get back out of the vocals if I'm adjusting something on another layer. So next we're going to talk about just mixing and sound, and I'm going to go through a little bit of the processing that we're doing. Our kick drum, and listen to what that sounds like without any of the waves processing, and then we'll look at what it's doing. So here we go. So pretty good so far. We're gonna turn on our insert, which is a little bit of smack attack and compression. So let's see what that guy's doing. We have a little bit of that F6, just some EQ to fit the mix, and then smack attack running. All right, let's look at our snare drum. This is our snare drum. Without the reverb. So we have our top mic and our bottom mic, and they're both running through the snare channel. Next we have the toms, so we'll go listen to all three of the toms at the same time. This is what they sound like. So we have tom 1, 2, and 3. Let's add our overheads in. All right, let's go for a full mix. Add our reverbs. All right, let's see what our drum bus is doing. All we have is the API on here, so let's see what it's doing. Just a little bit of compression, a little bit of limiting. So let's go to our bass guitar next, and this is what we're doing on the bass guitar. We have the bass rider plugin just to level it out, cut some peaks, C2, to really squish it to fit it right in the mix. And then we have the SSL channel on it, so let's listen to that. So very punchy, fits right in the mix. A lot of people think low end from the bass comes from the subs, but a lot of the substance of the bass is actually, most of it can come through your mains, between 100 and 200, 100 and 250, and then that low end rumble we're going to keep, probably like 50 to 60 to 100, and then we're going to leave that room for that kick drum below that and sub bass below that. So next, let's listen to just our band group and see what's going on here. All we have is the lead guitar going through here, just because he's playing something different than everybody else, and then all of our pianos and stuff. So let's listen to just those instruments all together. So very tight, very mid-range. Each instrument can be discerned. We could hear the acoustic guitar, we could hear that piano, we could hear the synths, we could hear the electric lead guitars, off on the left and the right, doing some spatial stuff. So let's get to the most important part, our vocals and what they sound like. So let's start with our lead vocal for that song, and we'll go just back and forth between the vocals to hear what they were sounding like. So this is our vocal 1 who is leading the song, and we'll just see what's going on over here.
Fall down and worship, sing the song of ages to the Lamb.
So we have
and all who've gone before
autotune.
us, and all
So we have autotune. Very slow setting. This is just to help the singer. Most singers, they start pretty good on pitch and then they dip down, go a little flat. So we're keeping that nice and tight. We have sibilants live on, and this is to keep our S's and P's and T's under control. Right now I just have one of the presets running, female vocal. And then we have a little bit of the Bethel vocal mix trick, where we do about 1 dB of reduction on the CLA 2A, and then the CLA 76 we do as more of a tonal compression. So both of them are doing about 1 to 2 dB, and then we have obviously our SSL channel, and this is our tonal EQ curve of what we want the vocal to sound like. On the board, the only thing I have on here is a high-pass filter, just to get some stuff done beforehand. And so let's listen to a little bit more, and then we'll start mixing some of the background vocals in and see what we got.
1,000 generations falling down in worship.
Add some reverb.
Sing the song of ages to the Lamb. And all who've gone before us, and all who will believe, will sing the song of ages to the Lamb. Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name stands above them all.
All right, let's listen to a big chorus with all the vocals.
All powers and positions, your name stands above them all. The angels cry, holy, all creation cries, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever. Hear your people sing, holy, to the King of Kings, holy.
very wide vocal mix. We can clearly discern what the lead vocal is, and then we have our backing vocals fitting in around them just a little bit to complement the lead vocal. I think our goal for most of our mixing should be to complement the lead vocal by building the other vocals around it. If you look at how I have my fader laid out, I have my lead vocal, I have my main harmony part, and then my other three are mainly lower than that, but also the way that I'm processing them is a little different. So let's listen to a little bit of a full mix and see what we can do here. This is leftover from Christmas Eve, so we'll start on it and see what we can do.
You are lifted high, holy, holy forever. People sing, holy to the King of Kings. Holy, you will always be. Holy forever is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name stands above them all. All thrones and dominions, all powers and positions, your name stands above them all. Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name stands above them all. All thrones and dominions, all powers and positions, your name stands above them all. The angels cry, holy, all creation cries, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever. Your people sing, holy to the King of Kings. Holy, you will always be. Holy, holy forever. Always be. Holy, holy forever.
So that's just a little bit of the mix. Obviously, it's not perfect, and you got to remember that you're listening to my left-right. So some of the stylistic choices that I have made, even though our room is pretty flat, has been for the room and the vibe that we are going for. Obviously, stage volume's a whole different thing. We don't have our drums sealed in, which really gives a lot of life to the room. However, when you do that, you have to adjust your mix a little bit. Tried to do the best that I could just for the purposes of this video, but don't judge it too harshly. It's just to show you what a good starting point would be. I've probably spent 20 or 30 hours behind the board now setting it up from when we initially got it. Waves is the biggest difference. I mean, we can make a really, really, really good sounding product come from that, and it's all about giving God the glory. So, as long as we're doing our best and we're not super caught up in, what the actual sound is coming out, and more of, are we engaging people? Are we engaging the congregation? Are we engaging volunteers to join our team? And are we making it simple for them to work with, and giving them an opportunity to produce a well-produced product? So yeah.